If you are new to the channel, then subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for further notification. Okay student, welcome you all to this new lecture on analog electronics. So this is the lecture 1. So again today we will be solving 5 questions from question number 1 onwards up to question number 5. Okay, then let's try to solve these questions. Okay student, and question number 1, what they are asking. Figure shows the electronic regulator. The Zener diode may be assumed to require a minimum current of 25 milliampere for satisfactory operation. The value of R required for the satisfactory regulation of the circuit is. Now you know Zener is always operated as a voltage regulator and it works in reverse breakdown region. In reverse bias region it works down. So it is taking 25 milliampere means this current. In reverse bias direction it is 25 milliampere is required so that it can operate. Okay. Now you have this voltage, this reverse voltage, breakdown voltage is 10 volt. So it will maintain this 10 volt, whatever current it can take. It can take minimum 25 and above that whatever current it is required it will take as per circuit requirement, but the voltage across it should be 10. So if the voltage is 10, so here also the voltage will be 10. So you can calculate the current here. Suppose this is the current I. So this current I will be equal to 10 volt divided by 100, that is 0.1 ampere. Now what will be this current? This current, suppose it is I1. Now this current I1 is equal to 20 minus this 10 volt, 20 minus this divided by R. This is the current as per voltage across this side 20, this side 10. So voltage across it's 20 minus 10 divided by R. Okay, that is equal to this plus this. That should be equal to 25 into 10 to the power minus 3 milliampere plus 0.1 ampere what we have calculated. So if you solve it, you will find R is equal to 80 ohm. Very simple questions on Zener voltage regulator. So remember it always, Zener works in a reverse breakdown region and the voltage across it is always fixed, that is given the voltage, that reverse breakdown voltage. Okay, now in question number 2, what they are asking, the depletion region or space charge region or transition region, all are same in a semiconductor PN junction diode is. So for that you need to have a basic PN junction concept. I think all of you have. If you don't have, you can see any of this any of textbook of this. You will see there is a depletion layer, this region, where that positive and negative charge, it's reverse. If it is a PN, then it is negative charge ion all will be here, positive or charge, and they form a depletion layer, and this layer has to be break down before you apply. If you apply a voltage, it will not start conducting. This voltage has to be break down. That is the for silicon you take 0.3, 0.7 for Germany, and you know that thing. So that has to be break down here. So these are the ions, negative ions and positive ions. They come close together and they form a barrier there. That is depletion region. So positive and negative ions, that is the answer. That is option C. You can refer to any book or anywhere basic construction of PN junction it is. I am not going to thorough discussions of it because it will take some time, but it's easy. That is the very basic one. The mobility of an electron in a conductor is expressed. Now what is the mobility formula? I think in electron basic electronics you will find this one. Analog mobility is drift velocity divided by your electric field or field strength, whatever. Drift velocity by field strength. Now what is drift velocity? Drift velocity, because it is velocity, so they are writing in centimeter per second you can say. And field is what is field strength? That is voltage per meter or voltage per centimeter. That is the strength of that. So you can see it is centimeter square by voltage second. That is your option A. So you see, remember this formula. This is the mobility formula, drift velocity divided by field. The temperature is increased. As the temperature is increased, the voltage across diode carrying a constant current is increases, decreases. Now you know as the temperature is increased, so your electron mobility will increase and the electron will get more energy and its velocity will increase, which will decrease the resistance, Okay, since the decrease is a resistance, the current will try to increase, but they are saying constant current. They are saying that current is constant. So if you make this current constant, what will be the effect of this one? Now this is constant, it cannot increase. So the voltage across it, because because you are increasing the temperature, your effective resistance decreases. electron now can easily move, it will get more energy, so it will move, so there will be less frictions or less collisions, you can say. Whatever, the resistance will be reducing, and there, due to which the current flow will increase, but they are making the current constant, so it is constant, but effectively resistance is decreasing, so what will happen, your voltage will also decrease. Again, on basic concept, if you increase the temperature, the electron will get more energy and more movements will be there, so current will get increased, that means resistance is decreasing. But here current cannot be increased, as a result voltage will also decrease. So this is option B. So next, in question number 5, what they are asking, a diode whose terminal characteristics are related by this. This is a characteristic almost same type of characteristics the original diode characteristics you will find. So this is a typical diode characteristics. They will many a times you will find this one, V by Vt, where Vt is the threshold, that is the thermal voltage, 25 millivolt. So is biased at ID equal to 2 ampere. ID is given 2 ampere. Is the reverse saturation current. Okay, it's dynamic resistance. So what is the formula for dynamic resistance? Resistance we know, V by R. So dynamic resistance means when there is no direct relation between V and I. Normal cases, in our relation it was always relation V and I. If I take, and this is V by I is equal to R. So this is V axis, this is I axis, so V by R. This slope always give me R, and it was called constant in our normal DC circuit. But here in semiconductor physics or in electronic circuits, there is no direct relation. There can be this, you see there is the exponential relation between these two. So that's why it is known as dynamic relation, because it is continuously changing this slope. It is a curve, any sort of this type of curve, because it is exponential. So here the slope and here the slope will be different, and here slope will be very small because it is flat. And as we increase here, the slope will be very high, because here it is very sharp change, it is sudden change. So if I draw the VI characteristics, so if it is like this, it can be reverse also, whatever. So that's why this name came dynamic, because the resistance continuously changing. So normal it is V by R, so dynamic is dV by di, that's it. You differentiate that at that particular point, find the slope. So it is also same, so it will be dV d voltage across diode divided, that is this voltage V, this is the variable, and dId, you need this one. So let me calculate the reverse one, because first order derivative can be take reverse. So dIdt, let me take this one, then I will reverse this one. So if I differentiate it, what it will be, Is e to the power V by Vt, differentiation of e to the power Vx is e to the power x, and if you take differentiation of this one, this will be 1 by Vt. So it is dId by dV is equal to, this one is simply your ID, the same thing returns here, divided by Vt, or you can say dV by dId is equal to Vt by Id. Now Vt they have given 25 milliampere, millivolt, and Id is 2 milliampere. So milli will get cancelled, you will get 12.5 volt. So that's your answer option. Don't remember directly this formula. You try to remember this relation. This is nothing but dynamic, means you have to take, because it is continuously changing along the curve, this slope. So that's why you have to take differentiation, and you have to put that particular point on which point you need to find dynamic characteristics. So if the values are given, you put that values. They have given a particular value. They have given a ID and V. For that they have already given you. So ID is equal to this much. Suppose for 2 milliampere. So what is the slope here? They are asking. So you put that value, you will get the answer. If you like the video, then press the like button, and please give your valuable comments in the comment section.